I think by this point we are all aware that I love a good build challenge in The Sims 4, and one of my favorite things to do is make houses that are actually pretty cheap, but also actually look good. Think like actually good starter homes, decently priced houses, but they don't look like starter homes. Because a lot of the time, starter homes look really sad from the outside. You can't afford landscaping, they don't have actual things in the backyard. It's kind of just like a house plopped down on a lot, and that's not always so fun. And so today my goal was to build a house that looks expensive, but is actually really cheap. So hi everybody, it's Kayla, and welcome back to Speed Build Sunday. Today we are building an expensive house, but not. I also want to first apologize because I recorded from my stream scene by accident for a while, so you're gonna see my follow alerts popping up, but only like the first clip, I think. So I'm really sorry about that. I know it's super annoying. You'll get used to it. It's fine. Follow me on Twitch, by the way. I stream on Twitch, by the way. Follow me on Twitch. I, of course, built this house on stream, as I do, like, all of my speed build type content. I stream it first, and then I post it on YouTube afterward. But like I said, this house, my goal was to make one that looks expensive. I wanted it to kind of fit in the neighborhood. I don't think I achieved it that well. It definitely looks like a more suburban, like, family home. I think the neighbors' houses, like the Goth's house and stuff, look very classically, richer. Like, the neighbors definitely look a lot more wealthy than these Sims, but I don't think you would look at this house and think that it was like the cheapest house on the block. Well, maybe you would, but either way, it does not look like it costs only 45K. Because my goal was to make this house that was like actually affordable for your Sims. I know a lot of times I'm like thinking back to when I used to play The Sims and like not build, which is how I got my roots in The Sims 4, because I was definitely not a builder in the beginning. Like, I've gotten way more into building recently, like in the last couple, 3-4 years, but when The Sims 4 first came out and back in The Sims 3 days, I was not good at building. And so I would oftentimes look for houses that look good on the outside, but were like easy for me to change to adjust my Sims on the inside. So maybe like a cheaper kitchen that I could slowly upgrade, or like really simple bedrooms that I could just minorly adjust to fit my Sims kids and stuff like that. And so that's what I was going for here. A house that you could easily adjust. It's base game only, decently priced, so you can actually have your Sims buy this house without cheats. I mean, 45K isn't that hard to achieve. If you start out with this many Sims, you get like 30K almost, right? And by the time your Sims have like 3 kids, they'd probably have some money saved up from like painting or something or whatever. So for the most part, it's pretty achievable. But I also really didn't want it to look sad from the outside. Like, I wanted to have a backyard. I wanted to have cute landscaping. I wanted to have all of those things to make it look finished from the exterior, because I know that when I used to not build, I didn't know how to make exteriors look good. I knew how to furnish the houses. Like, I was totally fine redecorating the interior, but I didn't want to bother like building the exterior of a house. I didn't want to landscape. I didn't know how to do those things. And so I wanted to find like a finished exterior on the gallery, download it, and then redo the whole interior myself, which I feel like is probably how a lot of you play. The gallery really is such a blessing in The Sims 4. Like, I think that is one of the most underrated, amazing features of this game, because the past games didn't have things like that. Like, back in The Sims 3 days, if you wanted to download a house someone else built, it was a hassle. Like, trying to get tray files, trying to get it off the exchange website, like, it was just not pleasant. Like, having an in-game online feature like that to just pop on the gallery and be like, you know what, I want a spa, and then you could search for like any spa you want and have like thousands and thousands of options. That's amazing. It makes the game so much more fun to play because so many people don't build, or like don't always want to build, because a lot of times you might want a spa but not want to bother actually building the spa. Or if you're anything like me, you might want to build a spa sometimes, but certainly not right now. Like, I got no interest in doing that today. I want a spa at this very instant. I don't want to wait until I can build one, you know? I just want to like quick pop my Sims over there to like get a massage or something. I don't know. It's great fun. Okay, but back to my build for a second. I struggled so much with this floor plan. Oftentimes I cut out this part of my speed builds, like where I'm just struggling and redoing things over and over and over again. But I really struggled where to put the staircase in this house, because I really wanted to have a staircase. I wanted to have a big upstairs. I wanted like a fancy entryway. But I think I really struggle with houses like this one that are very symmetrical, because it is just kind of a rectangle. And so trying to make that floor plan is difficult for me, because a lot of times when I build houses that aren't just like a big tall rectangle, there's kind of more of a natural floor plan. Like, think how on the left side of the house there's that bump out. Like, that makes sense as a room. Like, you can just draw a wall, call it a room, it's done. But the rest of the house is kind of just this big square, and so it's hard to find like the space on the walls for like maybe a TV or like a corner for a kitchen. I struggle a lot to figure out the best, like most efficient layout for the space that actually makes sense. So you'll see that I move stuff around constantly. Floor plans are hard to do in The Sims. I think possibly one of the hardest parts of building is figuring out like the best layout. Sometimes it's easy and you just draw some lines and it's done and like the perfect floor plan, but other times it's like this where you sit there forever just like deleting walls and putting walls back and deleting walls and putting them back. But I think once you get the staircase figured out, everything else kind of just falls into place, especially upstairs. Like once the staircase is placed, a lot of times the upstairs is so easy to just draw some walls and cut it apart super simply. I think that it's harder with downstairs floor plans because you're trying to have like a slightly more open space. So you want to like make the most of all the space. You want to have like the biggest area possible to have like a nice kitchen and dining space. And it's definitely harder to like break that up. I also know that upstairs I used a bit of like a little overhang. There's like an open to the downstairs section, which is very useful for this space because then I had less area to cut apart. I probably could have really easily made that into another room, but I opened it downstairs because we don't have that much money. So when you break apart part of the house, there's less to furnish. So I was like, you know what? We only got 45K. I'm just gonna leave this part open to the downstairs. It'll look fancy. It looks expensive, but then all you have to do is not furnish it because it's open. And then of course, also if you play in this house, maybe you have like another kid, you could just draw a wall there and make it into another bedroom, and then boom, you've got more space for more kids. And I think that part of this is nice. There's like a very obvious adjustment you can make. I would have loved that back in the day when I was playing because I like wanted things to look nice and expensive, but I also wanted space to expand if possible. And I think this gives it to you. I'm like trying to sell it like a real estate agent. I'm like, here you guys, here's my pitch about my build. You should download it off the gallery. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's like a reflex, I don't know. There's also an office space upstairs. I wanted originally to have an office space downstairs, but I couldn't end up getting it to fit properly. Like I couldn't make it work the way I wanted to, so I got rid of the office space downstairs. There's just like a master bedroom and master bathroom and stuff, but there is a small office, like little 3x3 room upstairs, which you could also always make into a nursery if you wanted to. I know I used to do that kind of thing a lot in builds. I'd be like, this needs to be my random skill room or something. Like I need to have gym equipment because I've got these like fitness sims. Let me put my treadmill in this random room that's got space for it. Or like my computer or my easel or whatever kind of skill building object your sim needs. It's nice to have like a room for it. Although if you have like a big one you need, like the I don't know, microscope or something, you're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. It does not fit anywhere. Certainly not in here. But as you watch me sit here and struggle to lay out this house, I figured I would tell you a story because this weekend was my birthday. On Friday I turned 21. I am now old. Thank you very much. My parents were like, what do you want to do, Kayla? How do you want to celebrate your birthday? And I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna stream on Friday. Like, otherwise I don't really have any plans. But yesterday they came over to my house and I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to play board games because I like board games a lot. I own some board games, but no one ever wants to play with me. And I was like, it is my birthday and I want to play board games. And so they came over, we played Monopoly for a little bit, which I really enjoy Monopoly. I did not have the best luck yesterday when I was playing. I was rolling just the worst options. Like I kept landing on things that they already owned, so I couldn't buy any property because they all owned all the property, and it just was not ending well for me. Like I was not doing great at Monopoly yesterday. But in that game there's some chance cards, and one of the chance cards was like, it's your birthday, collect $10 from every player. And like my brother drew that one. It was my birthday and we're all paying him for his birthday all of a sudden. Like it was really quite terrible. Honestly, I was offended by that. How dare they? How dare he get that chance card? I bought Monopoly for my Switch recently and I was playing with my boyfriend and we were having so much fun. Honestly, the Switch version is kind of scary because it's like got these fancy graphics. Like it like zooms you into the board and like your character actually like moves along the road like you're watching them like super up close. It's kind of odd. I'm not explaining that well, but it's a fun game. I really enjoy playing board games like that. Also like Uno for the Switch is kind of fun. Virtual board games. We've resorted to paying money for virtual card games and stuff. But to be fair, if you're like me, you've got a lot of internet friends and stuff, like it's kind of fun to have games like that you can play because it's easy to just hang out and be like, hey, you want to play Uno together, you guys? And then you can like sit in a call and play Uno on Steam or whatever. And like my brother and I have been playing so much Mario Kart recently because he lives at home and I live here, obviously. And so we play Mario Kart a lot together, like at nighttime. Games are fun. Even like silly little games, like not like games, but like little silly games like that. They're just fun to play casual games with your friends and stuff, or your brothers, even if you lose to them fairly constantly. I've never been great at like competitive games. Things like Uno and Mario Kart are easy. Those don't really count. But like my brother is very good at like shooter games and like other like more real racing games that aren't as easy as Mario Kart. I'm just not good at that kind of thing. Like I've never been good at like even like Minecraft PvP. I'm not good at that. I like to play simulation games. I'm more of like a Sims player, obviously. I don't know if you noticed, but I've never been super great at like bigger games, real games, as some gamers would say. But I play things like Minecraft and like Sims, Stardew Valley, Planet Zoo, Animal Crossing, which are all real games, just not the same like competitive nature as some of these other ones that some people play. But I'm good at the games I do play. I would like to think I'm decent at The Sims 4. So I think it is a safe bet to say that I am somewhat good at playing The Sims. I'm not like the best builder. Some people are way more creative than me. I think that I lean a lot more towards building like really playable, like average person kind of houses. Some people are out there building like these amazing mansion, beautiful, debug-filled, magnificent art pieces, and I'm just not one of those people. A person called Kate Emerald comes to mind. She makes the most absurd builds, and I mean that in the best way. Can I show you? I'm on her Twitter. I'll link her YouTube channel down below. But like, for example, look at this. Are you kidding me? Like, I am not, it's kind of blurry because Twitter's not loading properly, but like you get the vibes. I am not this. I don't know how you do this, but like you see how she uses debug to make these like curved walls and stuff? I don't understand. What kind of witchcraft sorcery is this? This person is magic, literally magic. Some people are just this good at The Sims and I'm not. That's not me. I make starter homes. I make cheap houses. Speaking of which, this house, the whole vibe the whole time was like, it's an expensive looking house, but not. And so when I posted it on the gallery, I like finally finished the build. Once put it on the gallery, I tried to title it looks expensive ... but not, because that was kind of the whole plan all along, right? Well, I ran out of characters, and so I just called it looks expensive ... but no, because I couldn't fit the T. And for some reason that made me laugh so much. Like it being called looks expensive ... but no. Something about the but no, it just got me. Like we were laughing so much about that on stream. It's not even that funny, but it was kind of a good meme. So this is my looks expensive but no house. Okay, you know what? I just opened Twitter because I like had it open because of Kate's Twitter, and I saw a tweet that says, and I quote, "My husband eats cereal with no milk of any kind, just straight up dry cocoa pebbles with a spoon, and I just needed everyone to know." And all the replies are ripping him apart, but I do that. I eat cereal dry sometimes. I'm feeling really attacked right now. Just opened Twitter to show my YouTube audience a cool Sims build, and then I got attacked. Unbelievable. I do eat cereal with oat milk a lot of the time, but I have been known to eat cereal dry. I'm not afraid of admitting that, okay? This is who I am. I eat dry cereal. What are you gonna do about it, huh? It's not that weird. I don't know. Some of us don't drink milk, okay? This stemmed from like when I was younger. I never wanted to drink milk, even when I like still ate dairy products and stuff. So I would just eat cereal dry because I didn't want milk and we didn't have any like plant-based milks. But now plant-based milks are like super popular and so they're easy to come by and stuff. So I drink it with oat milk, but I didn't used to. And you know what? That's okay. Some of us are lactose intolerant. And also milk is weird. I'm just saying. And you know what? Straight up dry cocoa pebbles are good. So you be nice. This person is my friend. I'm not actually attacking them. It just made me laugh a lot. You open Twitter and you get straight up attacked for no reason. You'll see as we're getting closer to the end of the build, we're kind of reaching that point where I was running out of money, but I needed the house to look good still. So I was like going back and forth, changing out furniture for cheaper versions and like trying to adjust the walls and save every little bit of money that I could find because we were just barely out of reach of our budget. And I still wanted to have a fenced in backyard. Like a lot of these things aren't necessary expenses. Like I didn't need to have upper cabinets. I didn't need to have the more expensive countertops. I didn't need to have a fence. I didn't need to have spandrels and things like that on the outside. But our goal was to have a house that looks expensive. Things like the nicer cabinets and the spandrels are what does that. And so I didn't want to get rid of them, but we were also severely running out of money. And so I was just trying to like walk this line of like just barely having enough. We have like 400 simoleons left right now. It was not good enough, but we managed to make it work. I managed to still landscape with debug, so it was free. I got like a single table outside in the backyard. Honestly, I really think that having like any sort of furniture in the backyard and like a finished backyard really makes like a world of a difference in how the house looks, because all I did was put like the cheapest table and 4 cheap chairs. But for some reason, like the backyard just looks so much more finished having them there. I feel like a lot of times in my builds, especially, the backyard is kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh, I don't have any money left, no more backyard. But like having a fully finished house, like front to back and on the inside, I think that helps. And it just takes like an extra few hundred simoleons. You know, you can scrounge it up somewhere, delete some walls, delete some fences. Maybe delete some like wallpaper where there's like a little empty box and try and save enough to have some trees in the backyard. Oh boy. Debug landscaping really did change the world. Like having debug landscaping made our lives so much better. Plus, so much of it just looks better than the ones that we have in game. Like we've got some bushes in debug that are like really nice, and we don't have anything like that in the base game. Like you'll see those bushes that I'm putting in the corners. We have like a bright green swatch of that, but there's a darker green swatch in debug that we don't have just in the game. It is so nice to have that darker green bush. The darker green one looks like it blends in places, whereas the light green one that we have, it doesn't look like it matches anything. It looks kind of like plastic. It's like there's a couple bushes in the game that look kind of plasticky and fake, and that's one of them. It's nice to have that like slightly darker swatch. It's annoying though because the game doesn't see these things as being objects, so your Sims will like just walk straight through them, which isn't that big of an issue because they aren't gonna route like through these bushes because there's a fence and stuff. So your Sims probably won't walk like straight through these bushes because they're in places where they probably wouldn't go through them anyway. But there definitely can be some like weird issues with debug and routing and stuff because of that, but it's okay. I will take a couple weird routing issues if I could have like actual landscaping in the backyard, because if we had to pay for all these bushes, this would be like an extra 50,000 simoleons. Maybe not 50, but you know what I mean. Like paying for bushes is expensive. Anyway, the build is complete. Oh dear, it's nighttime. It does not look very good at nighttime. This isn't my fault. We didn't have enough money for more lights, okay? I couldn't afford lights on the top oh no. Let me just make it daytime so you can see it better. Well, here's my house. As you can see, we've got some beautiful landscaping. I put this like overhang above the door to make it look a little bit more interesting. I use like these little transom thingies. I think all together it looks very nice. There's a fireplace and a chimney. Well, there isn't actually a fireplace in the house, but there is a chimney, but that's okay. The backyard looks adorable. There's even a trash can, so I covered all the bases. There's space to put like some kids' playground equipment and stuff. I didn't have the money to afford it, but like if you had a couple extra simoleons, you could probably put down like the monkey bars or something. That's 845 simoleons. We are not made of money, okay? We can't be buying monkey bars like that. But on the inside, it's a pretty open floor plan. I'm not a huge fan of the furnishing that I chose, but like we were limited to just the base game and like the rug options and stuff that we had, so I did it like this. I honestly really like the kitchen. I like the island. I like the layout here. I think this is like a pretty realistic layout too, like what you would find in real life. Maybe like an ideal version of what you'd find in real life. Having like the island facing the living room like that is nice. You can stand here cooking and look, you can see everybody hanging out in the whole house. How wonderful would that be? I couldn't really afford as many wall decorations as I would have liked, so there's not anything right here. There's a bookshelf though. There's two of the same one downstairs. Oops. We do have 3 full bathrooms. There's one over here, there's one master bathroom, and there's one upstairs. The parents' room is downstairs. I wish that it was like a little bit more furnished, maybe like a little bit less cheap looking, but again, we are not made of money. I also didn't give them a shower. I gave them just a bathtub because we were kind of stuck for money, and like shower tub combos are expensive, so we just got a bathtub, but they have showers everywhere, so you'll be fine. And then upstairs, there's 3 more bedrooms, plus the like little office that could be a bedroom if you wanted it to be. We've got like a kid's room here, maybe could transition to a teen's room pretty easily because there's not like toys or anything in here. This kid has the whole balcony. I don't know how they got so lucky, but this kid's got an entire balcony. There's a toddler's room plus like a toddler potty and stuff, don't worry. And we've got this bedroom, which is a little bit bigger, probably definitely a teen's room in there, but again, you could kind of adjust it to fit whoever you wanted to. And that's the whole house. It's pretty small, but to be fair, it's like 3.5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and it only costs 44,894 simoleons. Smelly. It only costs 44,000 smellies. I don't know. You're welcome for this wonderful, not that expensive home. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all the birthday wishes, by the way. People were so nice to me this weekend. I literally couldn't believe it. I posted a tweet about my birthday and it got like 2,000 replies. I have never experienced such a thing in my entire life. I don't know what I did to deserve you people, but thank you so much. I love you all. Goodbye. Seriously, I felt so special on Friday. I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for everything. Everything.